Got a question from this legend that I met in Ulladulla. Geez, that's a sentence you don't hear very often, is it? You don't even hear Ulladulla very often, especially if you're from another country. I bet you don't even know where Ulladulla is. That's how up your ass you are. Just so you know, no one knows where Ulladulla is. I'm pretty sure most of the crackheads that live there don't know where Ulladulla is. But he talked to me. Surprise, surprise, he had all his teeth. Actually, nice face. Well-shaven young man. Promising future. Class act. Don't know if I should be using his name, so I won't. But nonetheless, liked him a lot. Absolute legend. But he asked me, can you do a video on your daily schedule? Obviously, when you're not touring, because when I'm touring, I just turn into a truck driver and I eat McDonald's 3 times a day because there's nothing else in this fucking country. There's occasionally a Greek cafe. You just drive past and you're like, yeah, okay, what have you got here? Burger. Does it taste like McDonald's? No, it's even more fatty than McDonald's. Guess I'm going to McDonald's again. It sucks! Now, let's talk about my daily schedule on, obviously, an average day. Because I think that you need to understand this. A lot of people always write to me and say, I got into all of these good habits and then I stopped all of my good habits and now I whip myself because I'm a bad boy. Is it normal for me to cut my penis off in punishment? No, but I highly recommend that you do that. Make sure you cut it off. Eat it for some extra protein. Boom. You know, that's cheaper than going over and getting one of those Max bars. Now, for his question, I have an answer, and it's very simple because it's my life. It's now or never. And here's what I do when I wake up every day. I think that the first thing that you need to understand is when you are most productive. You know what's fucked about me? And I really never want to admit this. I feel really ashamed about it. But I think I'm most productive from the hours of about 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's when I write the best. It's horrible. If I had any other life other than the one that I have, I would be completely screwed in my field. And this is why I also think that you should be moving towards maximizing yourself as a human being and then getting rich off of maximizing yourself as a human being. That's the aim, because it's fundamental things like that. If you are somebody that functions very well between the hours of 9 and 5, you'd be an extremely rare human being because everybody seems to dip at around 3 p.m. But nonetheless, as a result of that, I wake up every day at about 10 a.m. And I used to always think I need to cut myself back to waking up at 8 a.m. in the morning. And when I do that on the rare occasion, I feel great doing it because I actually get to see, you know, morning birds chirp as opposed to looking at my thing and being like, it's not even time. Fuck, I can't even have breakfast now. So that's the first thing. But after a while, I just accepted it because I realized that's the best time for me. I'm a night owl. What can I say? And so it actually changed when I wasn't in the city. Isn't that horrible? But now that I am in the city, I am a night owl. I should have finished that sentence. Sorry. So I wake up, and then the first thing I do every day is I get up and I do some stretches. And the reason I do some stretches is because I want to have a pain-free body when I'm 50. And I remember reading a book about it, and it was pretty much just saying if you do this for a bit, and then you just try and touch your toes, and then you just jump up and down, and then that's just a Tony Robbins thing that I added onto it at the end. I just get some kind of Martin Garrix song just to pump me up, and that's all. And everybody sits there and says, oh, you like Martin Garrix? Yeah, well, I'm the one who's happy. Fuck! Clearly! And so... well, I am at that specific point. I'm not happy with you being smug to me. You're going to have to sign up to Jordan and Shanks just to make me feel better about myself. So that's what I do. I get up, I pump myself up with a bit of... All right? That should take me about 5 minutes. Walk out the door, go around my block, just think about everything that I'm grateful for. If I'm at my girlfriend's house, I take the dogs with me for a walk, which is really annoying because they've been conditioned to do that first thing in the morning. And if I don't, they get up and they have an annoying big bulldozer bulldog head and they go and use their stupid snout that's kind of on that underbite jaw as sort of like this primitive bulldozer to get my head out of the pillow. But take them on a walk, think about the things that I'm grateful for, and I incant every day. I incant something. Doesn't matter what it is. I just want you to get into the habit of incanting when you're walking. Thank God my girlfriend lives in the middle of the bush. If you live in the middle of the city, I know that this is going to be extremely embarrassing. I don't think that it is an excuse, though. You should still be walking around and incanting. Incanting is very, very different to saying it in your head. You can feel it. After I do these brilliant pieces to camera, I might say, but when I do them, after a while, I can feel myself getting more confident. What is that? That is about, as Gordon Ramsay would say, talking, you fucking muppet. Talk to the people in the kitchen. And in this instance, your kitchen is obviously your body. There you go. Metaphor done. So, another perfect one. It's just a seamless somersault. Boom. The Price is Right. Now, that wasn't. But, yeah, so I do that. And then I walk around. I make sure that I am incanting something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something like, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. Or it could be, I'm good at my job, I'm good at my job. Or the classic, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself. Even me saying it 5 times then, I know that you think that I'm stupid. I don't care because I like myself, I like myself, I like myself. It's amazing. You do it. You just do it by yourself. I know it sounds stupid, but when you actually do it, you actually do like yourself, because I'll let you in on a little secret. Your brain just believes whatever it's told. You can think that you're smarter than that. You're not. Only I am. The only human being in existence to have ever broken through. You haven't. You're shit in comparison to me. Okay? But, yes. Same thing. Someone tells me something. I blurt it out on my podcast. People fact check me and go, this is poorly researched. Fuck you! I'm doing something live. Right, okay, so, yes. But anyway, that's what human beings do. They just regurgitate, like baby birds, whatever they are told. So you tell yourself whatever you want to hear, and it becomes reality. It is scary, the power of incantation. Scary. It's also just a thing of like, there's things, I'm not going to admit to them publicly, but I used to incant things when I started this crazy journey out, and now that I look at them, I think, Jesus, mission accomplished and then some, It is scary what you can do with 10 years of incantations. And so if you just miss out on 10 years of incantations, you're going to be like everybody else. And if you do those incantations, you just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And I really do think it is because so few people do them. Do your incantations. Write down a couple that suit you personally. You know what you need. Give yourself that gift. Jesus, we're only up until like half an hour into my day. Then I get back, and then, whether I feel like it or not, I switch these around. Usually I feel like reading as soon as I come back. And this is the other thing that I think is very important. When you are writing down your schedules, this is something that works for me. Other people that have a really centered mind like just writing down like, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm going to be doing this. From 10 a.m. I'm going to be doing this. But my life is, there's a lot of things of just getting thrown at me. Oh, hey, just so you know, you could go to jail today. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll just be a little more flexible about my schedule today. So that does happen to me a lot. And as a result of that, and you see this with a lot of busy people get to this point where they just can't block out their time anymore. What they can do is write down a bunch of tasks that they hope to get done that day. And so they just aim to go and do what are most important. And the main reason that you want to be writing down what you should be doing in a day, this is honestly something that I forgot about until I remembered it just then. But the main reason you want to be writing things down isn't so much just to remind yourself of doing it, although that's extremely important. It's also that you are, by doing that, eliminating a bunch of bullshit that you otherwise would be doing that day. And there's just a little pang of guilt when you aren't doing those things that you should be doing that day. And life, I think, is just constantly about discarding what isn't important and moving up and doing what is more and more and more important, and just delegating the rest to someone else to do that is important for them. Right? While you just keep doing more and more important things. So that's the next thing that I want you to be doing. I want you to be ensuring that when you are writing down your schedule, that you should be writing it down in a way that is best for you. And there really is 2 ways of doing it, which is just like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. And some people, when they're really, really busy, do like, 11:01 to 11:03, do this. a very rare breed of human being needs to be managing their day that much, but that is the aim to get there. Now, with me, what do? I write down 5 tasks, knowing that I'll only be able to fill maybe 3 of those tasks, 4 of those tasks. If I've done really well that day, I get 5, and that's a good day. That's a great day to me. And it really is, I'm just marking it kind of just in a percentile in my head when I'm doing it, just being like, yep, okay, that's 20% of what I want it done, 40%, 60%. That's how you should be doing it, right? So today, my things that I wrote down, and sorry, right, like this is before meditation reading, but what I was writing down today, get 2 videos filmed. It took longer than I expected, but we did it. Now I'm getting later in the day, and what am I doing now? Now I'm doing my self-help for the week, and then after that, I am going through a bunch of job applications, and then after that, I'm going to write my stand-up. Those are the big 4 things that I needed to do that day, and I think that I'm going to be able to complete those things, but it doesn't matter. Those were the most important things that I could be doing with my day. That's what I did with my day, right? Then, after I write down what I've done, then I go and I read for an hour. I read for an hour in the field that I want to be knowledgeable in, obviously, not shit. And then I meditate for 10 to 15 minutes. Then, after that, after all of that prep work is done, first things first, eat that frog. I try and do the most important thing of the day. Now, today, because obviously when you're filming, you've got a crew that comes in, I have to do those things. If it were up to me personally, the first thing that I would do, because the most important thing for me to do is my stand-up, that's where my income comes from. So I should be writing my stand-up show first thing in the morning. That's what I'm normally doing. Ideally, that's what you want. First thing, most important thing, get it off. As soon as you do, you feel a weight off your shoulders. If you don't, if you waste it on the internet, you feel like shit that day. Feel the difference. Feel the difference. You will. Then, after that, what do? Second most important thing, which for me is script writing, which is something that I'm hoping to just offset after a while, because I think that it is something that I should, the day-to-day of script writing, don't really need to be doing it at this point. Friendly Geordies has its own flavour. I should be moving to writing bigger things, the stand-up things, the really long butthurt responses to journalists, documentaries. I should be working on those things because I'm at that stage now. Then, the next thing that I'm moving on to is, obviously, third most important task. Every time I am feeling myself losing focus, what do? Push-ups, sit-ups. I do 10 minutes of my little, hot woman MILF cardio workouts or whatever I'm doing, right? But I'm exercising in little strips throughout the day. Now, people will say, and they'll probably be mortified, and they will probably be correct in saying that that's a terrible way of exercising. Yeah, you're probably right. It's not really about that for me. For me, my job, mostly in my head, so it's mostly just about getting the most out of my mind. And I am telling you right now, if you are not balancing mind, body, and spirit throughout the day, you are not getting the most out of either of those. So if you are just always working out, but you're not doing anything with your head, that is actually going to inhibit your body, isn't it? Because you will not be able to read the science necessary to go into maximizing your body. These things all work in on themselves. And the other thing is, if you don't meditate throughout the day, you freak out over nothing. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. It doesn't matter if you're trying to pick up the puss or if you're trying to, build a skyscraper. Calm people get it done. Now, the way that I wind down, this is the only other thing that I have as a rule for the day, is that for the last 2 hours of my day, I just read another hour a day, so I read 2 hours a day. The reason I do is because Bill Gates didn't, obviously, it's just what I want to be doing in my life. But I do see this correlation. The more people read in their day in non-fiction areas that are useful to them, the better they get. So that's what I start doing as well. Then I write down what I want to do the next day, just basic little things that I want to write down. I write those things down twice, and I also, just before bed, always do a little bit of notes. little bit of my notes. The reason I start doing them at the end of the day now, I used to do them as morning notes. I don't think it doesn't really matter. Either way as works for you. Is again, I don't think I'm much of a morning person. Most of my morning person is just being like, get up, you're awake. I think at night time, my brain needs something that needs a little bit different to wind down, just needs to get all of the stuff out of its head anyway. It works for me to better to do evening notes, but I do little evening notes and I get the things out of my head that happened through that day, and then as a result, I start forming more of a vision. This is the main reason that you want to be doing morning notes. And if you aren't doing the notes, then you aren't getting the most out of your head, because all it is doing is just formulating what you want out of life, right? That's how you get motivation, because it's just like, oh yeah, I've got this problem and this problem. I wish I had this. And then it starts forming a picture in your head. And you're able to move towards it. And then you go to bed, this is what works for me anyway, excited. There's nothing better than going to bed thinking, that was a well done day, and that was a well spent day, and I'm excited about tomorrow. That's a perfect day for me. Anyway, if you want more little tricks to keep you in that mode so you have that ideal day for you, whatever your daily schedule looks like, let me know about it in the comments and see, because I'd really like to know how to improve on mine, because I'm always thinking about trying to get that structure right. If you win the day, you win your life. Yeah? Okay? Never heard that before? No, because this is the only YouTube channel that's self-help that you look at, don't you? You don't cheat on me, do you? And so make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks. When you sign up to Jordan Shanks, you get these reminders. You will not find a better investment than Jordan Shanks. Jordan Shanks will allow you to fulfill your dreams. And also, this is something else. This is something that I just touched on then that's vital as well. Get you to realize what your dreams are in the first place so you can at least go for them. Most people don't even know what they want in life. They're just always in the back of their subconscious, swimming out. I'm going to scoop them out of you. Then we're going to get them together. Only if you sign up to Jordan Shanks. So if you don't give me money, I don't care about you. Bye.